great team effort. I thought coming off of the bye week, we knew we had a lot that we had to clean up and we had to fix, and I thought we did just that. I think we never stopped believing in our players. They never stopped believing in themselves, and there was no doubt. I said it earlier, we didn't come here to play in a close game. We didn't come here to try to compete a little bit. We came here to win a football game, and we didn't believe we can win. We knew we could win, and there's a big difference when you're talking about believe or know, and they knew that they can win this game. And the way they played together, the way they executed, the way they got each other's backs, and towards the end of that game, it was hot. There were bodies all over the field, and I just thought that we just kept fighting. We played harder, we played more discipline, and we played together, and that's what I'm most proud of.
Coach, heading into this week, you had 9 first half points, and you walk away today with 53. And you talked about how much you wanted to start fast. Were you expecting that fast?
No. Who would be expecting that fast against this team? I think 53 points is ridiculous to score in the first half. But I just thought we just kept executing. We made plays. We took advantage when they maybe jumped off sides, and I thought our guys just did a great job all the way through with it. And we ran the ball. We were able to throw the ball. We made great catches, and I thought our quarterback play was very, very good. Yeah, well, I said that the most meaningless statistic in all of sports is the score at halftime, and they understood that. Where they were coming back out to a 0-0 game. It was irrelevant what we did in the first half. There's a whole nother half to play. They got it within 2 scores or close. Like, it was pretty close, and then we were able to, that field goal took us back up, and I thought we had a little more breathing room. I thought we got really aggressive on defense when we needed to, and then I thought we took our foot off the gas a little bit on defense when we needed to. And I think to say that, he has a 50-yard run, Amarian has a 50-yard run, but, to hold him under 100 minus that run in a definite pass situation, it's remarkable. Our guys tackled well, they played well, they swarmed to the football, they got off blocks. They did a whole bunch of stuff that was really, really good to watch, but we're not going to let up. We're not going to go into halftime and think we've arrived. That's not what we were going to do. And I thought we played great second half football all the way up to this point, and I thought we did a good job at the break, after the break here too. Yeah, which we just had to tackle. When we went down, honestly, I'm not no kidding. We got to Thursday of scout team, and we had Kamari and Baldwin, we had Joby down there, and we moved Trayshawn Dye over, who's a linebacker, to play running back. And we were on Thursdays, you try to keep it a little lighter. We were almost live that entire Thursday practice period of making sure we're putting pads on, we were running him back, and we were doing things because we knew we weren't going to see that speed from any of those guys necessarily that he has, but it was a huge emphasis for what we were doing. At one point, I almost shut it down on Thursday because it looked a little bit too dangerous, but I knew we needed it, and I just applaud our coaches, and our coaches that run that scout team, did a great job with Ook and Justice. They were phenomenal of preparing for this week.
Alonzo started 1 for 6,
and
then completes his next 13.
Yeah.
What clicked?
I think it's there, right? His confidence is there. I can't remember exactly the first 6. I knew that we were close on a lot of them, and I didn't feel like there was nobody was worried about anything necessarily. We knew he's the guy. We knew what he could do, and then when we started to realize, the protection was going to hold up against these guys, which I didn't know that if it would or could. And when I started to see that it could, his confidence and the way he stood back there poised, trusting his offensive line and his receivers to get open, and then delivering very catchable, accurate footballs on time, in places where only they can catch them. And then everybody had catches today. Everybody that got open, he distributed the ball. He didn't just pick on one guy only. And I think that's dangerous when you could start to spread the ball all over the field to a lot of different people.
So the O-line gets a lot.
Absolutely. 100% the O-line gets that, for sure.
Looking at a player well, Terrence Spence, gets his 7th career blocked punt today. What is, on that play specifically, and then just throughout his career, what has allowed him to be so successful on the
Savvy. It's not easy. Like, blocking a punt is not easy to do. You could go to NFL rosters, and as great athletes as they are, there's probably 3 on a team that could block a punt. It's just not easy to do. And I think the way he can contort his body, the way he sees it, the way he times it up, and then the understanding of the kick point of this kick. He was pretty low. He rolled a little bit, and he would kick it a little bit lower, and to reach around that block like he did is something we worked a lot on throughout the week, and I thought he did a hell of a job.
And then to turn around and see him get that 2 interceptions, but 1 pick 6. What does it mean to see a kid like that?
Everything. Like, this is why he came here. He wanted to play in big games, and he wanted to put himself out there in this light. And I could remember back to his sophomore year, his best games have been again in big scenarios. And I think he's just got to use this now to play, unbelievable football all the time, and he'll do just that.
I don't know if it's the lighting in here or you're maybe a little bit teary-eyed after this one. The
Probably sweating a little bit.
Yeah, maybe sweating a little bit. So I give you credit for that. But then we get to play one Power 4 team in your first year as a head coach here.
Yeah.
What does this win mean? And just to do it into this fashion. So,
Yeah, well, I just, coming off the bye, what it means to me is that I'm proud of the way they responded, right? I'm proud of the way they responded. Like, to come off this bye week and know what we had to do and to just commit to it and commit to each other, and then to come out here and do it is, and have the belief in each other. That's what I'm proud of. Who we played, obviously, it's a little icing, on the cake. But ultimately, it was the game. It was this whoever we were playing after those first two games where there were sparks and there was visions of things that looked like brilliance at times, and then all of a sudden, it got dull in there for a minute. Then it sparked back up again, and for us to just keep believing and know and take care of all the little things along the way are, I think, what leads us to this moment today. So it means a lot to be here and do that. But ultimately, whatever game this was, it was going to mean a lot that we finally came together and were able to gel together, start fast as a team, and believe in each other, through that stretch of time off.
You went for it on 4th and 1 with the game still out in the fourth quarter. You called a flea flicker, you called an onside kick. What gave you the faith to have that much aggression and call that way on?
Well, I don't think you want to leave a game saying, man, we left some plays out there, we practiced them all week, and we were scared to call them. I did not want to leave this game going back home, trying to sleep at night, saying, I wish I was more aggressive. I didn't want to do that. I've lived that life before, and I'm not, I don't want to live that life again. So I think our aggressiveness will continue, and we'll just do whatever we got to do to, win football games, apply pressure, and make sure that we're, putting our kids and our team, in the best situation possible to have as much success as possible.
How much did the bye impact opening up the playbook a little bit more? It looked like there's some more design runs for Alonza, deep shots down the field, just
Yeah.
just a little bit more diversity in the play calling. Is that the bye, or is that kind of just, okay, this is game 3 and we're getting a little bit more confident?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. I called Zoe, who was at the NC State game on Saturday. I said, we're throwing this ball on Saturday. And we're winning this game, we're throwing this ball, so get ready. Because I went back and watched that game over the bye week, our last game. It was just it wasn't great football, right? It was kind of boring to watch, and it wasn't a whole lot of fun. And I didn't think that we used our guys their best of their ability. And this guy, is an absolute warrior and can, make any throw in the book, name it, he can make it. And, it's important that we give him the opportunity to do that. And I love what Coach Kennedy and the offensive staff did. And, he got our backs and delivered.
That you throw the ball into OD, Noe trots out, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Then I'm curious, how early in the week did you know that that was a possibility? Why did you decide to pull the trigger in that specific situation?
Well, so Matt Moran, one of our special teams assistant coach, had played in the game against these guys before and just had some success with that exact play, and we just pulled it back up to see if we got the same look, and it ended up working out. We were ready to bring it back in if we didn't, but it ended up working out.
Where was he when he ran?
At Stanford.
Any other questions for Coach?
You talk about wanting to have fun with these guys.
Yes.
Is calling a flea flicker, or you didn't get it off, but Jacob goes in motion on that
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Like, is that kind of thing that also makes this game fun? And also,
Absolutely. Well, to know what we're trying to accomplish and the intent of what we're doing. Like, we wanted to create a little more space, see if they could jump off sides, and we wanted to create a little more space for Ryan on that punt. So Jacob motioning out was to try to get them to jump, and then when they weren't jumping, we didn't want to stand there and watch the clock go down, so we just walked them over the line and took the false start penalty. It created 5 more yards for us to be able to pin the ball. Now, if you could go back in time, we pinned it on the 8. It would have been on the 3 if we didn't take the 5-yard penalty. But, it just gave Ryan a little bit more room to place it where he needed to place it. But it is having fun. When I went back again and watched that game, I think one of the things that stood out to me is you can't score points and you can't, play good defense if you're not having fun doing it. You can't do it. If you're playing rigid and tight and scared, you actually cannot score points. I don't believe you can. And when I watched our second game of the year, we played tight. We played like we were trying to protect a lead that we didn't have. We should have just been, ripping it and having fun doing it. And that's what you'll see from now on.